Welcome to Odisha State Open University. Today we will learn about 2D and 3D sketching. Now what is sketching? Sketching is the process of making a rough design of what you want to present. It is a way of presenting thoughts, images or mental pictures in a visual form. It is a kind of visual thinking and an important part of the design and development process. You can use sketching to generate ideas and express your ideas. It is a powerful communication tool in animation and graphics design. Sketching plays a very important role. By means of drawing rough lines and shapes, you can give shape and direction to your concept. In this video tutorial, we will learn more about two-dimensional and three-dimensional sketching. Sketching is the process of making quick freehand drawing that is not usually intended as a finishing work. It is spontaneous and gives a brief account or a general outline of something. It gives the broad features but lacks detailed information. It gives the broad features but lacks detailed information. Sketching gives you the initial freedom to capture the concepts or ideas in your mind. You can also explore multiple ideas for a particular design. It is easy and fast because you can make a sketch anywhere, anytime with just a small notebook and a pencil or a pen. Ideas can come anytime. You can visually represent your ideas and concepts for effective communication. Also, sometimes scribbling also triggers our imagination and generates awesome ideas or concepts. Sketching can save a lot of time by giving outline as it helps clear your mind and the idea itself. It guides the creative thinker towards the end result. Sketches are also a quick way to make the basic composition of your design and make a layout. First step in sketching is the practice to hold the pen. Also remember that sketching is very different from writing. By repositioning your grip backwards and relaxing the muscle in the finger, you can draw longer and fluent lines. Next is holding the pen perpendicular to the direction of the line you are drawing. Now to draw a horizontal line, point your pen straight forward. For vertical line, you have to rotate your pen and point sidewise. The third step is to draw from the shoulder. Minimize the rotation of the wrist. This is difficult but shorter lines, but that is how you draw shorter lines and it requires some practice. Observe your hand when you draw your line. See if you are moving your fingers or rotating the wrist. The wrist operates like a compass. Any rotation will create a curve, not a straight line. Similarly, if you rotate your arm around your elbow, it will create curve with radius as the size of your lower arm. To draw a circle, you can use your fingers or wrist. To improve the basic sketching techniques, practice to first of all hold the pen farther to the tip and relax your muscle. Next is to point the pen perpendicular to the direction of the line you want to draw. And thirdly, minimize the rotation of your wrists. Now shading can be done in two ways. You can use the point of the pencil and make lines to get effects like this. But if you turn your palm around and hold the pencil inside your palm, you can use the size of the pencil. The shading will be smoother without any lines. In sketching, knowing perspective is very important in proportionately representing objects. It gives a three-dimensional feeling to a picture. It is a system of representing the way that objects appear in reality. It gives the volume to their bodies, makes them look real and three-dimensional on a mere flat sheet of paper. Perspectives can be of 1 point or 2 points or 3 points. The front plane of the object is directly in front of you. Verticals parallel and all lines of perspective meet at a single vanishing point on the horizon. Objects you draw in 1 point perspective are drawn face on. When an object or viewpoint is rotated and two sides of an object are angled away from your view, each side of the object has its own unique lines of perspective. You must now use two vanishing points, one for each plane of the surface, in view with the vertical lines parallel. If your point of observation is higher or lower, a third vanishing point comes into use. Think of looking up at tall skyscrapers and seeing three vertical side angles to a third vanishing point, far distance as they reach towards the sky. From the worm's eye view or looking up, the upper vanishing point is called the zenith. From the bird's eye or helicopter view or looking down, the lower vanishing point is called the nadir. A shape with only two dimensions such as width and height and no thickness is called a 2D shape or a two-dimensional shape. It is flat on a piece of paper or on any other plane. Some of the examples of 2D shapes are squares, circles, triangles, etc. On the other hand, 3D shapes or forms have additional dimension such as height or depth or thickness, and it is a solid enclosing volume. Examples of three-dimensional shapes are sphere, cube, cuboid, cylinder, cone, square-based pyramid, etc. Since computer screens are essentially two-dimensional, three-dimensional graphics are just 2D optical illusions that trick your brain into thinking that it is seeing a 3D object. 2D shapes have only three properties like length, breadth and angle. However, in case of 3D shapes, you can have face and corner or vertex as its properties. Besides, you can also add symmetry to the property of both type of shapes. Here you can see properties of some basic 2D shapes we use frequently. Similarly, here you can find properties of some 3D shapes that we use frequently. Now let us see how to convert a two-dimensional shape with outlines to a three-dimensional form. Let us draw outline for a very simple shape like this. Then draw lines at down the side to make it a cylinder by using outline. You can make exactly the same thing again here. Now we have two cylinder-like shapes. First draw the outlines lightly and then make it darker. When you finally make the desired shape, you can press hard on the outlines to make it clearer. Then apply shading like this. Leave the outline as it is. Now the shape has shading as well as a strong outline. Now in the second shape, we will apply the same kind of shading, but here we will make the outline disappear. You can do it by making the shading darker. As you get rid of the outlines, the whole thing appears more of a three-dimensional structure. If you look at these two shapes, the first one has clear outlines and the sketch is flattened. It is more a 2D sketch. But the second sketch appears more three-dimensional and has no outline. Here we have also made shading behind and at the side of the image. It has created a much more interesting 3D effect. So as we learned today, sketching plays an important part of the design and development process. But it is not just to designers alone. Many other professionals also use sketching to shape up their ideas. The important point is that the artistic quality of your sketches is not the point. The real objective of sketching is functional. You need to be able to use this in shaping up your thoughts and expressing and explaining your concepts. Thank you for watching this video lecture. To learn more, watch more videos by Odisha State Open University.